Alrighty, welcome back again, everybody. Bugi is here. As always, we are gonna take a look at what's happening as of today in Bitcoin as well as the cryptocurrency market. So what do we got right now? Well, look, we have a meeting today. We have a Fed meeting. A lot of people have been telling me that they're gonna raise the rates, 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 and they probably will raise the rates. But the question is, how much does that matter? And how are you going to react if the prices were to drop down? Let's say the prices drops down, they raise the rates. Are you ready for it? That's the ultimate question that you're going to ask anybody and talk about, right? So everybody talks about raising rates or lowering rates or basically making them stable or whatever the hell the scenario is going to be, which does not really matter, because the only thing that matters is that how are you going to react to what scenario and what the hand that you get dealt with. And that's the ultimate question. So, and that question's answer will really depend on where people are being positioned at and how many people are being, like, you know, degenerately gambling into names, and how much they are buying options, how much they are getting into the market, do they have enough cash on the sidelines, and also like some other factors such as the government policies and the Fed policies, right? So there's like a big fucking equation right there that is dictating where the prices could go up to or go down to or go sideways to for any kind of market. And they also have the proxies and all these other stuff that really integrated with the entire, you know, market, with the algorithmic bots and everything. But the ultimate question is whether people are buying or selling and how many of them out there. Like, making, like, is there more buying pressure than selling pressure, or selling pressure than buying pressure in that specific market? And how is it going to react in the future to the participants who are going to be getting dealt with that news or whatever the case is? Okay, so if we know if the interest rates goes up, they're going to be really panicking, selling, and it's going to stop at some point and turn for the upside again, because it has to. Why? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to, but it probably will, because of the fact that the governments will not let it do it. I mean, if they did let it do it, that would be an amazing opportunity, but it doesn't seem like they will. And they could too. I mean, you don't know. They could, but they haven't done it, so, right? So there's that. We have the election coming up too. I mean, we have the midterm, so it's unlikely that it is a scenario, right? Can it happen? Sure, why not? So that being the case, we have been dropping a lot already. We have seen the narrative around people selling their cryptocurrencies, selling their stocks, selling everything already this week and last Thursday. We have already seen it. The question is it going to keep creating more selling pressure, or the people who can actually see the small fishes in the market who's only listening to the YouTube videos to be selling is going to just eat them alive? That's the ultimate question that you got to ask yourself, because I have seen a couple of YouTube channels out there that have been talking about it. So maybe we're going to have to eat them alive, right? Maybe that is a scenario, or maybe actually we are going to go into this time period where the prices are going to go down to, right? There are only two scenarios. The ultimate question is, I think, in terms of prices and technical analysis, since we have a lot of unknowns when it comes to the policies, when it comes to the, you know, the economy, the supply chain problems, and the money printing, or whatever the scenario, whatever the theory, or whatever the thesis that you have. The ultimate question is, how are you reacting to what you are seeing right now? That's the ultimate question. Because how are you reacting and how you will react is going to determine the future outcome for you. So whatever the actions you take right now is going to determine how much money you're going to make or lose tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. So right now, then the question becomes, what are you doing, Buddha? Like, what are you seeing? You know, well, what I'm seeing is a great buying opportunity. That's literally it. We have a TD9 sell signal. The indicators are flashing us a buy signal. The prices are already dropping down. You know, it's pretty much a great buying opportunity. Doesn't mean that you should be going balls deep right now before the Fed meeting or whatever the Fed is going to say. You should be going balls deep into it. Probably not, right? Because you are supposed to wait until like that outcome is like ended and like just see what happens, just to play safe, right? Just to play safe and come back at the game tomorrow. That's the ultimate thing. You don't want to gamble at that day. If you're gambling at that day, you either know the president, or you know the Fed president, or you know somebody that I don't know, that you have a better information than me. If that's the case, then all congrats to you. Go full degen on that call option expiring on Friday to make a bunch of money, because you know the Fed is not going to say anything about the increasing the rates. If you know that, congrats to you. But I don't know that, right? So that's what I think is they're going to do, by the way. But, you know, who knows what they're going to exactly say, right? Maybe they're going to actually raise the rates a lot, and they're going to roll over the market, and they are going to do that on purposely just to control the inflation, or at least try to do something. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Okay, it's like, I think, nonsense to talk about this stuff. The only thing that matters is the facts, and we don't have the fact yet, so we can't speculate on that. We can actually estimate how much % of chances of what is going to happen, but it's not like certainty. You know, it's not. Nothing is certainty in this life, right? So, but I don't know. The prices drop. We are in a great location. We are squeezing the shorts, and that's ultimately what you want to see. So look, if you go up to $45,000, you know, pretty soon over here, would I be surprised as a Bitcoin trader and investor over the last 4 or 5 years now? Hell no. There's like no way I will be surprised, because this is fucking Bitcoin, right? Would I be surprised if it goes down to $29,000 if we had the bad news, the market keep rolling over? I would not be neither. And in fact, if it were to go down to $26,200, would I be surprised? I will be a little bit. I will be surprised a little bit, but at the same time, no, because I'm ready for it. Even though I think that there's a 10% chance of us going down to like $29,000, I would not be surprised if you were to go down there. Okay, which is kind of contradictory if you think about it, saying that there's only 10% chance that we're going to go down there and you would not be surprised. But I think maybe I am biased then, right? Like, I'm ready for a drop, right? Like, it's like, if it drops, I'm fine. But look, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be surprised for it to have like 10% chance. I guess I would not be surprised because I know what I'm going to do if it were to go down there. I guess that's why. And I have no emotions about that decision, you know. I think that's why I would not be surprised. Would I be surprised for 26,200? Probably not then, if you think about it, because we know what we're going to do if we were to grow, you know, drop down there. And I know, and you know, we have been accumulating the last like 4 weeks into the altcoins, which is going to ride the NFT wave, which is going to ride the a lot of different waves, such as the decentralized database mechanisms, which has dropped around like 50% from where we bought it at. And we have been accumulating them, and we only put in around 2% into that special idea like Phil. And we also have Theta, we also have Serum, which has dropped a ton. But of course, we also put in Ethereum and AVAX, some positioning into them, and we made a bunch of money with them already. So look, the point is, right, the point is, we are buying the assets, and we started buying the assets, even though we went full cash around the 11th of, the 21st of November, where we seen the exact top on AVAX, Solana, and we talk about this on this channel. Even though we did that, we started accumulating the next week because there was a lot of buying opportunities, and there still are on these names, and there's a great risk-reward ratio. And the ultimate question that you got to ask yourself is, Buddha, what are you going to do? And when are you going to start acting? I think that's the ultimate question that everybody wants to hear right now. So let me give you that answer. We're going to accumulate still. I'm saying the same thing that I've been saying the last 4 weeks. $26,200 level. If you go down that low, I'm going to buy 50%. I'm going to get into 50% in my crypto portfolio into the asset, and still going to have cash. Even though we went to cash around the 21st of November, 100% cash, we started accumulating the last 3 weeks. Actually, 3.5, 4 weeks now. So we're getting there. We're going to buy a little bit more, just like we did last week. We're going to buy a little bit more, as we already bought around 2% this week, around Monday, AVAX and Solana. We are going to buy the other assets. We're going to accumulate them a little bit more because we are down in some positions, right? We are down around like 50% in Phil, which is a huge drop. We only put around 2%, which is not a big deal, right? Because we still have 70% to average our way in. And in fact, if you look at those positions that you are also holding, most likely, if you buy it cheaper, your average way is going to be closer to where you actually bought it if you were to actually crank up the percentage numbers that you are getting into that asset. For example, if you put in 2% into an asset, and if you are buying right now 6%, let's say with a stop loss or whatever, with a solid trading setup, and right now we are 3x closer to that price that we recently bought it at, meaning our percentage loss is being diminished as we are able to buy more. And that's the most important thing, because we started buying when the prices were already around 80% on these names. I mean, look at this. We started buying this asset, guys, over here, right, around these prices, and it dropped another 50%, even though we bought this thing at literally 87% drawdown. We bought it at 87%, but it dropped another 50. People are losing their mind right now. There's no doubt about it. You know, like we bought it at 80%, 70% drop, and it dropped another 50% from there. So imagine how much money you could make if this thing were to go up to like $200 again. That's a 10 extra right there. Congratulations to you. Merry Christmas, right? That's what it is. But look, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. Nobody fucking knows. But if I buy like 10 names like this and one of them 10x's, I get my money back. That's how you play the game. So that being the case, I would not say go into blindly one idea 100%, but slowly accumulate these names. And even if it drops down like 50%, your plan tells you to sell half on a double. So obviously you're going to have some losers, and that's a part of the game. But once the time comes in and this thing turns for the upside, it's going to be too late for you to accumulate and buy, especially if you're running a big fund. You know, if you're a small guy, you could just momentum trade and fuck around with the market. But look, I would say learn this. It's a lot better strategy. It's a lot easier strategy, and it's like, you know, you don't really think about anything. You just like do what you're supposed to do and follow the plan, trade the plan, and do whatever, right? But look, I'm not saying you should not be adding with a momentum setup. If you were to see like a crazy push for the upside, then you could add like another 30% and get balls deep into it with a tight stop loss. And right now you have the momentum behind you, so it's a lot better to trade it that way, right? It's a lot better. But look, another tip. If you don't see that momentum and you are getting more than 50% invested into that asset class, that may be a problem. You know why? Because you don't have the ammunition. Like that thing can drop like another 80% from where you bought it at, because this is fucking crypto and it can happen in this market. And you will be left with the bag. If you're not buying the solid picks, solid names, and if you can't, you know, estimate a bull market, it may take a long time before you make that money back. That's the unfortunate reality with crypto. So what our job is to survive. So as we have 70% cash right now, I'm going to wait for a momentum setup now, because I want to really position it in a way that like I maximize my chances of like entering at the closer to the bottom, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm not trying to be the hero. I'm just trying to like estimate where we could see the potential bottom with what news and what happened and what's happening at that day and how many people are longing, shorting, or whatever, and just like try to figure that out. Right now we are seeing the impulsive move right now in Bitcoin and in the altcoin space, which is about to come. If you ask me, if it's going to come, it's going to be tomorrow and the day after. If it doesn't, then we're going to crash from this point forward. So that's why I'm not pulling the trigger when the prices are going up. If it rolls over again, maybe I pull it, but I am not the one. Right, I am not the one to do that right now, because we already bought it. We could do it at another 10% this week. It would not really hurt us, but I don't want to take that risk. 70% is a comfortable number. We could actually wait for like, you know, around 30K, you know, prices to be reached if we are in a bear market, and then act on it. You know, we don't necessarily have to act right now. We just already accumulated. Like we could already double with our 30% and still leave the 70% behind, even though we are in a bull market. Is it going to really hurt us? No, we're still making money. Isn't the point of game is to not lose money, and you're still thinking about making more money? No, you got to be thinking about not losing it. That's why I'm not entering it. And I think you should not be neither if you already invested into it. If you have 50% cash, then that's fine too. You know, it's not the time to exit. I think it will be around like 50K levels, the psychological numbers, around that 50K number. And that's my honest opinion, guys. I hope I was able to give you guys something to think about. I'm really busy today, and sorry about the delay on the video. There's a lot going on today, right? It's a lot going on, so really busy. Sorry about that, but we'll be live around 4 p.m. to go over these charts and give you guys something to think about. And if you enjoy these videos, make sure to smash a like, subscribe. I have another video coming up about Netflix. I bought a call option when it dropped 22%. The same day it doubled the option and sold it, and then I recorded the entire process, right? And I'm gonna call this series DJam Bugi, right? DJam Bugi #1, and we bought another option this week on around like Monday. I recorded that too, and that already doubled as well, which is fucking incredible because I was prepared to lose all my money on these trades, and I'm not planning on keeping this streak on. I just want to show you guys like how I do things and how I kind of sometimes like take bets, and sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. But look, the point is that 5K that I put into Netflix is only like on that account specifically 5% of my account. That is not going to fucking make me go broke. I'm not saying put in like, you know, 50% of your holding into a Netflix option where you're going to be too excited and you're going to manifest your own death. That's not how you win. You just don't give a fuck about it and it happens. And I want to prove that to you. That being the case, it's just fun to talk about this stuff too. It's like fun to, you know, buy like call options and sell off on a double and like just keep on moving. It's just fun. I want to show you guys. It's a minute video. I think it's going to go viral. Make sure to follow that real soon over here. We're still doing the thumbnails. That being the case, I will see you guys on another video tonight around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take it easy for now, everybody.